How's it going, everybody? This is Psych.osophy Gaming here to talk about the first game of the year contender, Resident Evil Requiem, or Resident Evil 9. People have already came out and said that Cairn, the climbing game, is going to be one of the game of the year contenders, and although that game is pretty good, it doesn't hold a candle to Resident Evil. Firstly, I'll say that this is one of the best Leon Kennedy games ever made. Not one of the best Resident Evil games ever made, and I'll get more into that in a second, but for sure one of the best Leon Kennedy games ever made. I've played pretty much every Resident Evil game just like everyone else at this point, and I can safely say, along with probably 90% of other people, that Leon is my favorite character in the franchise. So I've played Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4, probably around 20 times combined over the course of the years. This is another amazing Leon Kennedy game, and I'll probably end up playing this one a couple more times too. Right now I'm finishing up my second playthrough, and I'm pretty excited to play Insanity Mode next, but basically what I'm saying is that this game does deserve all of the praise that it's getting, but it's not a perfect game by any means. I think it's a 9 out of 10 game, but any outlet that's claiming it's a 10 out of 10 is simply not talking about the problems that this game has. Firstly though, I'm going to start with what I love about the game, so let's get this out of the way. Grace is an amazing new character, and I think she's going to be the face of the series going forward, and I'm okay with it. Her character arc throughout the game was great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of it in the future. Her sections of the game are the most Resident Evil-like because she does a lot of the puzzles, and her portions of the campaign actually feel like survival horror as opposed to Leon's more action-oriented portions. Grace rules. I'm here for it. Also, I get a lot of The Last of Us vibes from this game, especially in Leon's campaign. It's probably just the art direction, but the beginning of the game, running through the streets and shooting zombies, is basically the opening of The Last of Us Part 1. The Last of Us is one of my favorite games ever made, and yes, The Last of Us Part 2 is great as well. And there's several sections in the game, especially this combat sequence that you're seeing now. The enemies legitimately look like clickers, and there's even some enemies that look like bloaters. Like, fuck yeah, The Last of Us rules, and so does this game. Lastly, the story of this game is awesome. I love that it's short and sweet, but it hits really hard at every turn. Nothing is too drawn out or cliche to the point of it being lame. The only section that sucks is the orphanage flashback section. That piece is so boring, I wish I could just skip over it. Otherwise, I'm going to avoid spoilers, and I'll just say that the story was really good, easy to follow, and had a really rewarding payoff. Now for things that I didn't like about the game. Firstly, the lack of puzzles in this game is staggering. After the hospital section with Grace, there are basically no more puzzles in this game. It's kind of sad, honestly, and that's something that usually sets Resident Evil apart from other games, and I think that's why I got such The Last of Us vibes, because The Last of Us is just a story-focused action game, and that's what this turns into without the puzzles. Please bring back the puzzles in full effect for the next game. Next, Ada Wong is not in this game. Why? The only reason I can think of is because she's going to get a story-focused DLC. I hope that's the case. This game is so obviously missing Ada Wong that it kind of makes me think that they just had tunnel vision while developing the story with Leon and Grace, and they forgot the bigger picture because there's literally no explanation for why she's not in this game. She's not even mentioned in the game, not in the files or anything. I hope they do a DLC with Ada this year. But to be honest, that's about it for my complaints. I mean, the lack of a mercenaries mode is kind of a bummer, but it's not that big of a deal. I kind of miss getting treasures. There's literally no treasure in this game at all. I guess it's not a huge deal. The game is so story-focused that it really doesn't have time for that kind of stuff, which is fine because the story is so engaging and it's actually good. But if it wasn't, I'd be more disappointed. It really does limit the replayability of the game. Otherwise, this is for sure Game of the Year contender. I don't really know what else is coming out this year. I'm not really looking forward to anything. I guess I'll review whatever other games I play this year, but I'm willing to bet that this game loses to Grand Theft Auto 6 if it does come out this year, despite the fact that that game's not going to be any good. I just have a really bad feeling about it. People are just going to love it because it's going to be politically correct, so it's going to win Game of the Year from virtually every outlet, when in reality it's just going to be a decade-old propaganda project. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to Psych.osophy Gaming. Resident Evil Requiem gets a 9 out of 10.